Action.
Okay. Hi, this is Kim from Fired Up Pottery. Welcome to my at-home gnome class. So you're going to have one piece of clay, which is about 1 3/4 pounds, and if you just cut it in half, you can just use a regular knife. We're going to first make the hat of the gnome. So what you're going to do is just take an old t-shirt. This is just a shirt. You can just take a shirt, just push down on it. And what you're trying to do is sort of make like a square here. So you want kind of a round area, as even as possible, maybe about the thickness of a pen. So you can kind of measure like how thick it is. And if you have a rolling pin at home, go ahead and just give it a little bit of a roll. One way and then the other. And this is going to be your hat. And we're doing this first because we are going to use the scraps for doing the other pieces. So I'm just going to cut this into I want it to be like a pie shape. So I'm just going to trim off one side and set it aside. Come and trim off the other side and set that aside. So this is going to be the hat of the gnome right there. If you want to add texture to it, you can. There's all sorts of household items. I just took balled up tape. You can kind of roll this around here. It gives kind of a crinkly texture. You could use string and go ahead and put it in with a rolling pin and lift it up. That also gives texture. You can use a back of a pen and it makes really kind of cool designs if you want like a border design here. A pen cap gives a circle in a circle. It's really fun. I'm just going to kind of do a couple of lines of pattern there because I really like this one. Other things that you can use are certainly you can take string or cloth, anything that has some texture in it, napkins, roll it into the pottery, or into the clay, like that. There we go. And so you can see it's got some texture to it, so that's pretty cool. Burlap is another one that's fun, or you might even have rolling pins that have patterns in it. If not, maybe it's a good chance to go onto Amazon and get something delivered to your house. So anyway you want to texture the top, that's fine. We're going to set that aside. The next step is we're making the gnome head and also its nose and feet. These little scraps of clay, they're perfect. Just ball them back up into a ball. And then this one's a little bit big. And to give you some size scale, I don't have, thought I had a measuring tape here, but I don't. So this is about you need about half of that. So I'm just gonna make it into 2 smaller balls. Like this. And these are probably about the size of a grape. And then finally I'm going to take this and make a third one about the size of a grape. So there we go. Those are going to be the nose and the nose and the feet of the gnome. So then I have some clay left, and actually it looks like this piece is a little bit bigger than we need, so I'm just going to break some off. And it looks like maybe 1.5 pounds is all I need to give you for clay. So you'll have enough for a little bit extra decoration. This is a ball about 2 inches in diameter. And to make the gnome head, what you do is you put your thumb into the gnome and you're going to quack like a duck. By that I mean you're not going to take, these fingers are going to be straight and it goes quack, quack, quack all the way around. And this is basically the part of your gnome that is the face or the head. So just come and quack first in a circle around the top, then I'm quacking like a duck, quack, 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 in the middle part, and then I'm going to quack like a duck in the bottom part. Now to do this, you want to have your thumb in the center and straight fingers on the outside. So just one thumb in the center, not 2. So like that, okay? And if your hand gets tired, just switch. So there it is, and it should come out to be about a little half circle, half dome. The next part of the gnome is you're going to take a fork. Plastic fork is fine. A regular fork is fine too. Clay washes off. It's not at all bad for you. And you just texture the gnome like what you want. And I usually do half of it. Some people do all of it. And just kind of hold this in your hand while you do it. It's easier because the fork will come off the end. So it's much easier to do that way. So there's the texture. Then what you do is come and take you've got a little container of a slip, which is clay water mixture. What I'm doing is pushing down on half of that nose or that foot, putting some clay water mixture on the back here, and sticking it on to be, this is my gnome nose. So I just kind of smear it in and attach it. Do the same with the feet. Give a little pinch to one half of it, give a little pinch to the other half of the other one, and this one you're going to smear the slip on the inside. And then it's going to go underneath here, and what you do is you come here and smooth out this back edge right there. And I'll stick the other one on. So make sure they're on each side of the nose, so feet, nose, foot. And so I'm gonna smear these in like this. There you go. Smear those in. And now the trickiest part is the hat, but it's not so bad. And you can just use the t-shirt as the working cloth. This is gonna be the hat of the gnome. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of slip on one edge here, and you can use like a plastic fork, or I mean a knife, or even a regular knife for that. Just come and smear it on just like peanut butter. And then what we're gonna do is hawk this into a cone shape. By that I mean I'm gonna take it with both flats of my hands and just kind of push it in together till it's like a cone, and I overlap that smeared edge on top of the other edge, like so, okay? And then if you want to get rid of these lines here, you can just kind of smooth it down with your fingers. And the quicker you work with clay, the better. So if you find that, you know, you did this at home and you don't like it, you can just ball the clay up again and use it again, maybe adding a drop or two of water. You want to keep the clay on the soft side. If your fingers are all mucky like this, just wipe them off on the t-shirt. It's fine. And it all just goes in the laundry, it washes out, no problem. So just gonna clean my fingers just a little bit. Here I've got a little bit where my fingers smushed it down. I'm just gonna put in a couple of little bit more texture back here so I can take this pen. Oh, that's not the cap, I want the cap. There's the cap. There's the one with the holes in it, perfect. So just kind of smear that down, put some little texture on there. If you have some extra clay left over, like this one here, just make a little piece. Take the pen, I'll flatten this down, and then you're gonna make a button. So here you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's a little button. So anytime you put clay to clay, make sure you put the clay glue or the slip on it. This one is definitely sticky. Smear a little bit of that clay glue on there. And anything that you don't like on your gnome hat, if you think there's an ugly piece or something, stick that there. I'm gonna just leave the button until I get the gnome hat on the gnome. What I'm doing is I'm taking this and pinching the outside just around to make it bigger, and then come and spread clay glue in here. A little bit of peanut butter right in there. It's all good, okay? And then stick this on. So you can have the hat more upright, you can have it off to the side, you can make a curve in it, you can do whatever you want. So just give that a good little push, and then I'm just gonna bend this around, and I think I want the button kind of like right here. It's kind of cute. Some people are doing sports themes. Some people are doing little acorns or butterflies or flowers. You can do whatever you want. If for some reason you're completely unhappy with your gnome, we're happy to take the clay back, and what we'll do is recycle it, give you a fresh piece of clay. So, you know, if you're frustrated, don't get too frustrated. We'll recycle the clay, or if you add a little bit of water into the clay, it's easier to keep working with it. So I'm hoping you're having a lot of fun with this at home, and I hope you find this video useful. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.